The most difficult and complicated part of the writing process is the beginning. It's not what the rabbis say that defines Jewishness, but what we Israelis do every day, our actions and our values. And this is one of the major questions of our lives: how we keep boundaries, what permission we have to cross boundaries, and how we do so. Jews outside Israel live in permanent contradiction. I think they should come home. Israel is too attached to America, too influenced by America. It should be connected to Europe. America is based on mythology, the free man, the individual, the open frontier. Europe is more conscious of history. Take Britain and Shakespeare. You shape your identity through history. I think about the Arabs not as enemies but as cousins. Even when we are in a fierce conflict with them, they are more of a kind of family, with all the problems of a family. We have to live with them. At the heart of anti-Semitism lies Moses. He made a catastrophic error, the terrible mistake, and all anti-Semitism for 2,000 years stems from his misjudgment. Moses said we Jews could remain the people without having the land. He said we don't need territory to hold on to our Jewish identity. This was a disaster. I admit I think it is immoral for Jews to live in the diaspora. Jerusalem doesn't belong only to Israelis and Palestinians, Muslims and Jews, but to the world. This is why I am a Zionist, because diaspora leads to hatred and the Holocaust. We always knew how to honor fallen soldiers. They were killed for our sake. They went out on our mission. But how are we to mourn the random man killed in a terrorist attack while sitting in a cafe? How do you mourn a housewife who got on a bus and never returned? So with truth, there is a certain moment when one can say, this is the truth, and here I put a stop, and I go to another thing. A judge has to put an end to a deliberation. But for a historian, there's never an end to the past. It can go on and on and on. In a time of crisis, there is rational tendency to turn to the writer. World War I was a trauma that paralyzed writers. It was something metaphysical, diabolical. We have to rethink the two-state solution. Traveling is one expression of the desire to cross boundaries. I only published my first novel at the age of 40. Till then, I wrote short stories. For 50 years, that is, for most of my adult life, I worked tirelessly for the two-state solution in the face of countless frustrations, both on the part of the Israeli government and the Palestinian Authority. One of the dreams of Zionism was to be a bridge. Instead, We are creating exclusion between the East and the West instead of creating bridges. We are contributing to the conflict between East and West by our stupid desire to have more. Let us not forget, the Palestinians in Gaza are our permanent neighbors, and we are theirs. Don't think that when Zionism began there was a claim that we were losing, even in part, our capacity to contribute to other peoples. I was proud my father spoke Arabic fluently. His father sent him to learn Arabic from a sheikh, and we had Arab friends. His task of understanding the Arabs, not only politics but poetry, was very important. He took it as a vocation. I am a serious reader, and I read slowly. The malady of the Jews is that they don't see territory as part of their identity. We must see what in the Israeli identity, in the Israeli, we can give to other people rather than speaking so often of taking, expanding territory.